Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am going to, because there's lots going on, I'm going to yield my first opportunity to question to Senator Boozman.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I've got to run to a farm bill here. It's important to you, and I think to the witnesses. But I wanted to just ask one question, really quick, regarding as ranking member on agriculture to Ms. Beiser. I understand how critical it is that we protect farmers, ranchers, and others not directly responsible for PFAS contamination from being potentially held liable by the EPA or subject to sweeping private legal action that could wreak havoc on their ability to operate. So I was pleased to be a part of a bill with Senator Lummis giving the agriculture community assurance they would not be subject to PFAS liability claims if the EPA rule were to be finalized. Can you, Ms. Beiser, can you talk about the importance of providing farmers, ranchers, and water utilities with this certainty?
Thank you, Senator Boozman, for that question. You know, one of the things that we think about in North Carolina a lot is making sure PFAS operates fundamentally different than most of the traditional contaminants that we regulate. PFAS is called a forever chemical for a reason, and it stays persistent in the environment and accumulates. And so one of the things that we're doing at a state level is reviewing our rules and regulations and permitting to make sure that we've got common sense measures to make sure that we're still protective of public health and the environment in that context. And I think, as you point out, Senator, I think it's a good and worthy conversation to have to make sure that that we are looking at where to appropriately draw those lines to ensure that you're not having unintended consequences because PFAS is operating differently than what we have traditionally dealt with, especially under a circular context, as you mentioned.
So if they did go all the way down, farmers, ranchers, water utilities, what effect would that have on North Carolina?
So I'll say, as a strong agricultural state, I always think about our farmers, but I also think about our public water systems. And one of the main areas I think about is ratepayers are already paying for treatment costs to make sure that their water meets federal drinking water standards and is safe for public health. And so I would hate to see a scenario where we have public water systems, ratepayers essentially, on the hook twice.
Right.
So thank you for your question.
No, good. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Senator Cardin.